Is the OnePlus 6T McLaren Edition worth $699? OnePlus announced the 6T last year and it was available for purchase on November 9th. Shortly after that, they announced the OnePlus 6T McLaren Edition. OnePlus has made its mark in the smartphone industry as being the flagship killer by packing some of the most desirable flagship features into a mid-range budget device. They carefully pick and choose what flagship features to include and which ones to leave out. The 6T is a solid device, and this video is not designed to take anything away from the 6T. If I was doing an is it worth it video on the 6T, the answer would be yes. But the 6T has an entry-level price of $549. $549. For $549, you're getting 6 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage, in-display fingerprint sensor, the fastest face unlock on the market, USB-C charging with dash charge included in the box, 3700 milliamp battery, alert slider, 6.4 AMOLED, 4K video at 30 and 60 frames per second, slow motion recording, portrait, night mode, manual mode, pro on your camera, all packed into a 20 megapixel rear facing camera and a 16 megapixel front facing camera, all for $549. That's right. That is right. That the price, one more time, $549. Now you can beef up your specs to 8 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage for $629. Still, pretty sweet deal, right? $629. Does it still feel like a budget or a mid-range device? Admittedly, this is still a great deal compared to the Pixel 3 or the iPhone XR with that super low resolution screen. Now, let's move on to the OnePlus 6T McLaren Edition. There's only one configuration to talk about here. This packs all the goodies of the OnePlus 6T does, plus Work Charge 30 gets you a day of power in 20 minutes. No joke. I never think about my battery life when using this phone when I got that charger on hand. Plus, you get 10 gigs of RAM for an extra snappy user experience. A sexy carbon fiber look with added exclusive McLaren boot up animations. And that's about it. That's all you get for a price bump of $699. 2 gigs of RAM, work charging. That's it. What is 2 gigs of RAM worth to you in your smartphone? How about that work charger? I had to think about this one for a second. I had to take a moment and ponder. Is work charging worth $70? I think the answer is yes. It's pretty amazing. And I've used my work charger on just about all my devices that take USB-C for charging. I've even used it on my iPad Pro. Let's take a closer look at the performance. How much of a difference does 2 gigs actually make? In order for us to get all geeky, we're going to go ahead and take a look at some benchmarks. I'm not a huge fan of benchmarks as I like to judge my phones and devices based off of real world use. How does it perform in my hand? The OnePlus 6T McLaren Edition came in at $2399 and a single core score and $9068 on a multi-core score. So that's what we're getting for $699. So let's move on to the OnePlus 6T benchmark scores. I had to open up a fresh OnePlus 6T right out the box to perform this test. I didn't have one handy. The single core score came in at 2413 and the multi came in at 8963. I performed the test a second time on the McLaren Edition and it came in at 2354 and the multi came in at 8958. Obviously, these scores fluctuate. So let's just throw the benchmarks out the window as I normally do because I think they're kind of stupid. Let's talk about real world use. Both devices are very responsive to the point that I feel like the extra 2 gigs wouldn't even make a difference. My overall experience with the OnePlus 6T and the McLaren Edition leads me to this conclusion. The user experience between these two devices is not worth the upgrade. It's not worth it, not at all. When you factor in work charging, the carbon fiber trim, and the killer packaging, it may be worth it to you. But if you're looking for a huge difference in performance by spending the extra cash, you're going to be disappointed. The OnePlus 6T is a solid device on its own. If you're in the market and you're not overly concerned with name brands like McLaren, and you're okay with the best possible options out there that OnePlus has to offer, then that leads me to say, just buy the OnePlus 6T. The OnePlus 6T McLaren is for the person that wants something a little extra, a little special, a little different. Somebody like me, who's using and playing with smartphones all day nonstop. But if you're just an average consumer, or even an above average consumer, I would say don't spend the extra money on the OnePlus 6T McLaren Edition. Save it for something else like additional accessories to protect your phone, or even take your money and buy the warranty upgrade package so you have longevity and more protection on your device. For the love of tech, thanks for watching this video. We are thinking about revving up another giveaway. I happen to have a OnePlus 6T that I opened up to do the benchmarks with that I forgot I purchased. So I think it's probably time for us to get back into giveaway mode. So if you've been around for a while and you know the deal with the Roman numerals, we're going to bring them back. Give me a Roman numerals 8063 dash and tell me what you like most about the OnePlus 6T or the OnePlus 6T McLaren. Also, keep your eye out for a Gleam link coming soon. For the love of tech, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, notification bell. Give me a thumbs up if you liked the video. Give me a thumbs down if you didn't. Namaste.